From White Bear Stadium, a good morning to you on a Thursday morning. We have the B Squad matchup today between White Bear Lake and Centennial. And let's welcome our sponsor for today's game, brought to you by Apple Autos and your hometown Apple Ford, White Bear Lake, where 1 in every 3 Fords on Minnesota roads starts its journey. Thanks for supporting local. And go Bears. We will have today an exercise in factual error. And that's the vagary of the developmental game. Centennial has split its junior varsity team. They actually have 2 JV games going this morning. They have one here and one in Anoka. And as such, with their call-ups that they have from their other teams, their sophomore and freshman teams, we do not have a Centennial roster. So it's going to make that difficult. White Bear has also brought some players up from its junior varsity or from its sophomore team. As a matter of fact, if you look on the sidelines, you'll see 2 number 80s standing side by side, one with the black numerals from the varsity and one with the orange numerals from the sophomore team. So it's going to be a do the best we can here today. So we will ask for your indulgence in that regard. White Bear will receive the opening kickoff, lost the toss. Centennial defers, and we'll get underway. Hank Stumke, 34, to the far side. Landon Caesar to the near side, wearing 35. And again, if we're getting these wrong, we absolutely apologize, but we're going with the best information we have. And here's the kick, and that's going to find the end zone for a touchback as the wind kicks up. It is noticeable going from right to left. It's at Centennial's back as we start the first quarter. And White Bear with possession and working into the wind as we get things underway. Of course, no time elapses from the clock there, and White Bear will take over at the 20-yard line with its choice of hash, and they will put the ball in the middle. And here comes Wyatt Stakowiak to quarterback the Bears. And his running back, Hank Stumke, the junior, stands to his right, and White Bear will come out with double slots on first down from the 20-yard line, just underway here from White Bear Stadium. Stakowiak looks to throw, lots of time, goes left, and it's intercepted. And the first pass of the game is going to give Centennial the ball at the 10-yard line. Stakowiak looking inside and then throwing left, and the ball was read and intercepted. And now Centennial will take over with a very short field on the first play of the game, and now they will have a first and goal at the, actually they're going to spot him at the 11, so it's going to be first down and 10 at the 11-yard line. And sweep. Bears trying to tackle the ball, and it winds up down to about the 6-yard line. Nathaniel St. Martin slow getting up there as the play results in a gain of about 6 yards, right to the 5-yard line. Quarterback keeps and goes in. And a touchdown for Centennial on their second play from scrimmage, and that makes it 6-0. We've played 48 seconds, and Centennial is on the scoreboard. Centennial's varsity program is outstanding. They have the reigning coach of the year in Minnesota, and Michael Diggins. They are 7-1. Their varsity is this season. Extra point attempt coming. And the kick is on the way, and it is good. So we have first score of the game after 48 seconds. It's 7-0 Centennial. So White Bear now will get another pop at it, but will hopefully hold the ball longer than one play as they get their second possession. In case you missed it last night, the White Bear varsity losing at Mounds View 35-21. Won their first two games this year and then dropped all 6 of their remaining games. So they'll be on the road as the playoffs begin. The opponent, of course, to be determined. Ready to go once again. And this kick will be returned from the 5-yard line. 15 and just shy of the 20-yard line. On that return is Caesar, and it'll be first down for White Bear again as they get the ball back. All right, and again, this will be 4 receivers in the pattern. Ball is on the right hash mark. 3 receivers to the field side. And Stoviak again, this time gives and looking for some space and knocked forward for about a yard or so is Hank Stumke. That'll be up second down and 9 for White Bear at the side of the 20-yard line. They need to get just shy of the 30 to pick up a first down. And again, it'll be double slots for White Bear. Out of pistol on second down and long. Suki again. Cuts to the outside, has some room, gets past the 20, out to the 25, and near the line to gain. Knocked down at about the, looks like the 27-yard line. It'll be third down and about a yard for White Bear. Scores from last night for those that missed them. Moorhead defeating Edina 51-44. Rogers knocks off Egan 28-20 last night. Here's a third down and short play for White Bear. And Stumke again up the middle, first down, and then some. Out past the 30-yard line to the 32. Good patient run there, and it'll be enough for a White Bear first down. Elk River over Cretin-Durham Hall by 61-27 last night. Of course, it was the short week because of the teachers' weekend here. Playing last Friday, turning around and playing again last night after only 5 days. Here's the first down play. Stoviak pulls it away, now looks to throw, goes over the middle, and that's intercepted. And down the far hash mark inside the 25-yard line. So 2 passes thrown by the Bears. Both have been intercepted. And again, a short field for Centennial. Woodbury winning the Battle of Woodbury last night over East Ridge by 24-15. Shakopee over Lakeville North 14-7. And now Centennial back at the line of scrimmage again with another short field. They take over at the White Bear Lake 24-yard line, and here's a pitch towards the near side looking for the edge. It's there. 15, 10, inside the 10 and down to about the 7-yard line before the tackle is made. I believe that to be Zach Pasqua, number 20. But again, numbers have changed. And it is a first down at the White Bear Lake 6-yard line. We played about 3.5 minutes, and Centennial is heading in again, leading at 7-0. And here's a give to the fullback, and he is stopped at about the 1-yard line, which would be, well, they gave him, yeah, that was first and goal. So it's second down at the White Bear Lake 1-yard line. Couple of turnovers in plus territory for Centennial. 2 interceptions on the first 2 passes thrown by the Bears in this game. And the give is to the fullback. And no, it's not. It was. And it's a touchdown. So I'm looking at this through binoculars, and I don't believe my own eyes. It's a touchdown for Centennial, and it's now 13-0. 7:38 to play in the first quarter. Extra point is good, and Centennial goes ahead 14-0. Forest Lake, but what a team they have as they defeated Stillwater 27-7 last night. Rebounding from a loss to Mounds View, kind of a shock loss there. 28-23, so they finished the regular season with 1 loss. And here we go again. The near side, it's through the hands, and that is a touchback. As Caesar had to go through his hands, but it lands in the end zone anyway for a touchback. And White Bear will start once again, now trailing by 2 touchdowns. Chaska winning last night against New Prague 26-15. And here we go. And first carry, tackle for no gain. Will Johnson on the carry, and nothing there. Second down and 10. White Bear 2 receivers to the right, 1 left. And a sweep to the near side, and there's some room out past the 20-yard line near the 24 for Johnson, and it'll be third down coming. They're going to give him 5 yards to the 25-yard line. Third down and 5. Park winning last night over Eastview by 33-30. Now here's the third down play. Johnson is met in the backfield and driven back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be fourth down and 10 for White Bear Lake, and they'll kick it away. Prior Lake defeating Farmington 29-15 last night. If you haven't seen Farmington's offense, it's quite unusual. Rosemount over Lakeville South 20-15 last night. They run, near as I can tell, they run what looks like an A formation. They have two quarterbacks. And here's a snap for the punt. It's high, and the kick is also quite high, but it's into the wind, and it's going to hit at the 30-yard line and take a little bit of a roll. White Bear will. Yes, it touched one of the upbacks, and White Bear winds up in possession after a fumble. So they'll get the ball on a fresh set of downs at the 33-yard line. But they have two players, that Farmington team does, that will hold their hands out to take the snap, and they'll snap to obviously either one of them, and then they have a full set of plays that can run from either side. But it didn't work last night as they fell to defeat. White Bear in possession again, two receivers to the left and one to the right. Stakowiak will give and then hit back behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. At the 30-yard line is Stumke, and it'll bring up second down and about 13. Maple Grove defeating Minnetonka last night 30-14 as we go over the scores from last night's varsity game. Second down and long for White Bear Lake. Stumke again tries the near side, has some space to the 35, and he gets out to about the 37 before he is brought down. Original line of scrimmage at the 33-yard line, so it should bring up third down and 6. That play gained 7 yards. And White Bear now with just over 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, trailing by 14. Trying to convert on third down. Two receivers left and one right. And Stakowiak takes the pass, lobs one down the sideline. Had a man open, but it was overthrown at the 35-yard line. Looking for Anthony Brown down the sideline. Fourth down, and White Bear Lake will again bring the punt team on. And if it works like it did last time, maybe they'll punt their way down the field. Again, a high snap, and here's the kick. High, end over end. Hits at the 45 and takes a White Bear roll, and it's going to roll dead at the 41-yard line. Centennial ahead 21-0, or 14-0, excuse me, 4:36 to go in the first quarter of play. They've had two very short fields taking over. Both times inside the red zone. Centennial showing two wings. Empty hand to the wing back, and now a pass in the flat is deflected at the line of scrimmage and falls down incomplete. And Jackson Matt, number 47 on the coverage for White Bear Lake. Second down and 10 at the 42. Centennial breaking out on top early with a couple of short touchdown runs. Fullback run up the middle and good yardage into White Bear territory. Shaking a tackle, gets to the outside, and finally is dragged down at the White Bear Lake 41-yard line. Giacomo Anderson, 5'9", 145-pound cornerback on the tackle for White Bear Lake, but a good gain. With a 40-yard line pickup of 18 yards and a first down for Centennial. Clock moving, 4:13 to play in the first quarter. And the Cougars on the move again. A double wing look, and this time it's a reverse. And they're going to pick up about 3 yards. White Bear read that pretty well. St. Martin, the first player to him, and makes the tackle. It'll be a second down coming. And 8 yards to go at the White Bear 38. Back they come to the line of scrimmage. One receiver wide to the right side, and again, 2 wingbacks. And the quarterback will keep, and nice belly option there. He's going to get to the outside and might score. 20-10, and it is a touchdown for Centennial. And a 38-yard run makes it 20-0 with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. Classic belly option there, and right decision made, and the quarterback finally elects to keep the ball himself, has the edge, and goes in untouched. Extra point attempt coming for Centennial, and it's 20-0. Snap rolls in, and they run to the corner and get in anyway. And a 2-point conversion instead makes it 22-0. As even when things go right for White Bear Lake, they go wrong as the center rolled the snap in. No chance to get a kick from placement out of that. And Holder winds up going wide to the near side and getting in. So it's 22-0. And the Cougars set to kick off. Low liner fielded, it actually goes through the end zone as Caesar was looking to take it, but it wound up going past him. Of course, the wind is at Centennial's back here in the first quarter. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go, and White Bear with a hole to dig out of here, trailing 22-0. And Stachowiak comes out looking for some positivity on offense. Starts with 2 receivers to either side. And up the middle, just past the line of scrimmage and maybe picking up a yard there is Stumke, and it'll be second down, and they're going to give him about half a yard, so it'll be second down and a long 9 for White Bear. 3 minutes now to play in the first quarter. And Stachowiak again with 2 receivers to either side and gives off tackle, and again hit at the line of scrimmage, Johnson, and no gain on that play either. Third down. Bears come to the line of scrimmage now with third down and long, just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. And again, they'll show 4 receivers. High snap, and it's recovered by Centennial as the ball bounced away from Stachowiak, and it's picked up at the 12-yard line. Third turnover in the first quarter for White Bear, and now Centennial takes over with a minute 56 to go in the first quarter at the 13-yard line. Already ahead 22-0. It's the third turnover Centennial is forced inside the 20-yard line here in the first quarter, so White Bear not making it easy on themselves. And they'll now show a wishbone look. And they give inside the 10-yard line and down to about the 8 as Gavin Reich makes the stop for White Bear. And it will bring up second down, and we'll call it 5 yards. You can get a first down at the 3. Clock continues to move. Just over 90 seconds left in the first quarter, and it has been all Centennial. Same look again, a fullback, 2 tailbacks. And a nice play at the point of attack, but the rugby maul is going to drive it close to first down yardage. Christopher Mislahiri, who is a junior, read that play well, but it's down to the 3-yard line, and it's still a first down. He just wasn't able to stop the momentum of the running back, but a good fill there. And Centennial, with less than a minute to go in the first quarter, has a first down at the White Bear Lake 3-yard line. They'll make a substitution. And now run their play. First down at the Bears 3. Pitch, the near side, and now looking for the corner, and upended at the 1-yard line. Touchdown saving tackle made. And it was made by a player wearing 49, which does not appear on any of the 3 White Bear Lake rosters. So that's a case where we're going to have to just say we're sorry. And that's the end of the first quarter. Score is Centennial 22, White Bear Lake nothing after the first 12 minutes of play. And Centennial will have a second down and goal at the 1-yard line as the second quarter gets underway. This game is brought to you by Apple Autos and your hometown Apple Ford, White Bear Lake, where 1 in every 3 Fords on Minnesota roads starts its journey. Thanks for supporting local, and go Bears. I'm going to step away for a minute to catch my breath, and second quarter upcoming in a minute or so's time. 22-0 Centennial here on the RICCI Media Group. Second quarter underway, second down and goal from the 1-yard line, and the fullback tries the middle and will not get there for Centennial as the Bears plug that hole nicely, and it brings up third down now and goal. Forward progress right at the line of scrimmage, so Centennial will now have a third down play. Second quarter just underway, and it's a 22-0 lead for Centennial. Motion, give to the fullback and in for the touchdown as Centennial increases its lead to 28-0. Second short plunge for a touchdown yet today. 11:10 to go in the first half. And Centennial will now attempt an extra point. Last snap didn't work out so well for him, but they wound up getting 2 points anyway on a run to the corner. Better snap this time. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So the score now, Centennial 29, White Bear Lake nothing, with 11:10 to go in the first half. So White Bear will get another chance to run the kickback. Might have a little better luck this time. The wind is at their back as the second quarter begins. And here's the kick. He fielded at the 10-yard line. Out past the 20 to the 25. And that is where White Bear will start. First down for the Bears. And a change of quarterback. It'll be Birkin Larson, number 27, getting a chance to run the offense here in the second quarter. Larson takes a low snap and then gives, and some room up the middle, 30 to the 35-yard line. A first down for Will Johnson, out to about the 36. Quick hitter up the middle, and White Bear has a first down. So Larson with a handoff winds up moving the chains for White Bear. Larson again gives to Johnson, and again, he will step forward and get to about the 40-yard line. Pick up a 4. Second down and 6 for White Bear at the 40-yard line. Trailing 29-0 here in the second quarter. 10 minutes, 26 seconds to go until halftime. Two receivers to either side on second down and 6. Larson takes the snap and gives once again. Johnson past the 40 out to the 43 as they spread out the formation and then run up the middle. It's going to be a third down and about 3 now for White Bear. Same look. Double slots, two receivers to either side. Larson gives. Here's Johnson again. No quarterback keeps, and he's gone. Out to the 40-yard line, 35, and finally brought down. Good ball fake there by Larson, and he's got a first down for White Bear Lake. And he was into the second tier in a hurry. So White Bear moving the ball now, looking for their first points of the game. And quarterback will keep again. This time they will stop him at the line of scrimmage and actually probably throw him back for a loss of a couple of yards. Going to the well for a second time, and it winds up being an issue for White Bear Lake. Second down coming at the 37-yard line, loss on the play of 2 yards. Now Larson sends 3 right and 1 left. Johnson, the running back, will switch sides as they will overload the field side on second down. Larson looks to throw, and he goes down the sideline, and it is incomplete. Little hand fencing there, but no flag thrown. Antonio Brown, the freshman wide receiver, the intended target there, and it'll be third down. Eight minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first half, and Centennial ahead 29-0. But Burke and Larson trying to change that. Some help from his friends. Johnson has had a lot to do with that on this drive, and he's standing to his quarterback's left on third down. And Larson looks to throw, and he goes over the middle, and that is intercepted. Third pick of the day for Centennial, and this one will be returned outside the 40-yard line. So 3 interceptions and a fumble lost by White Bear in the first half, and it'll be Centennial taking over. Larson moved the team well until the turnover, and now Centennial will again take over in good field position just outside, well, just near the 45. They're going to put the ball right up against the 45-yard line. So first down for Centennial. 7:56 to go in the first half. First down for Centennial. And they show double wing quarterback to throw. This time he hoists one up, and it is incomplete at the 35-yard line. And the pass coverage by Anderson for White Bear Lake. Coming up second down. Second down coming as Centennial hasn't had to throw the ball, but decided to try it there. And now quarterback will keep, gets to the edge, and then is shoved back as he gets to the 48-yard line. Gain of 3. And we got some pushes and shoves there. The referee says enough of that, and it'll be a third down and 7 for Centennial at their 48-yard line. 7:28 to go until halftime. Third down and 7. Sweep. And the Bears are going to sniff that one out. And McQuay on the stop for White Bear Lake behind the line of scrimmage, back to the original line near the 46-yard line. It'll be fourth down and 9 for Centennial. Offense will stay out, and going to be every bit of 9 yards on fourth down. Double wing. Quarterback rolls left. Now going across his body, lofts it up, caught, and it's going to be a first down inside the White Bear Lake 40-yard line and out of bounds at the 33. And we have an unsportsmanlike couple of them, I believe. So it's an offsetting penalty, but does it come before or after the play? We have a actually unsportsmanlike penalty against Centennial that is assessed after the play. So it's a first down at the White Bear Lake 48. Or no, now they're still saying it's fourth down. Yeah, first down is the correct indication, as referee is noting that the foul was after the play. So it's still a first down at the White Bear 48-yard line with 6 minutes and 5 seconds to go. Short side sweep, 45, 40. It's going to be a pickup of 8 yards. And second down and 2 coming up for Centennial now, as we're under 6 minutes to go until half, and Centennial firmly in charge here, 29-0. Forced 4 turnovers in the first half, 3 by way of interception. And that play is blown up right in the backfield. A little bit of an early turn towards the line of scrimmage, and Logan Magnuson gets in there and blows the play up. Ball will be spotted at the 42-yard line. Loss of 2, third down and 4 with under 5 minutes to go in the first half. And the quarterback will keep, and he will lunge forward, and he's got a first down. Down to the White Bear Lake 37-yard line. Again, they can run belly option out of that look, and did so. And with just over 4 minutes to go in the first half, Centennial gets a fresh set of downs at the White Bear 37-yard line. First man through, fullback into the second tier, gets down to the 20-yard line. And it's coming back for a false start. So it's a good gain on the play of 17 yards, but it's going to come back due to early movement, and it's first down and 15. Cougars back to the line of scrimmage. Same look. Showing one wide receiver and a couple of wing backs, and now it's the same play. And inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, that's a pickup there of 8 yards. That'll bring up second down and 7. Second and 7. And they run belly option again, and this time the Bears stop it cold as they get to the line of scrimmage and not much farther. It'll be third down. Ball spotted back at the 34, so it's third down and 7 for Centennial. And we're going to get a timeout taken by Centennial with 2:28 to go in the first half. Game has been all Cougars to this point, scoring a touchdown 48 seconds into the game after an interception. And we'll remind you again that our game this morning, brought to you by Apple Autos, your hometown Apple Ford, White Bear Lake, where one in every 3 Fords on Minnesota Road starts its journey. Thanks for supporting local, and go Bears. As we wait the conclusion of the timeout, Stakoviak is throwing again on the near side for White Bear Lake. He's split duties with Burke and Larson so far. So now back to the line of scrimmage they come. 2:28 to go in the half. And they look like they're going to throw here on third down. Good pressure and a sack and a fumble. Strip sack and big loss back to the 48-yard line, and it appears as though that's Reed Golda in there to make the play for White Bear Lake. Loss goes back to the 43, so that's a loss of 10 yards, and it brings up fourth down. And holding is called, and I'm assuming that it would be declined in that case. No defensive holding they've called. And an automatic first down. Well, that's a kick in the teeth. So that will be enforced from the previous spot. And they'll step off 10 yards, and it's going to be a first down for Centennial at the White Bear Lake 25-yard line. Less than 2 minutes to go in the half. So a strip sack negated by a defensive holding penalty, and it will be first down for Centennial. Little wingback reverse and struggling ahead for a few yards. Gang tackled at the 23-yard line after a gain of 2. Clock continuing to move as we're down to a minute 20 to go in the first half. Centennial scoring 22 points in the first quarter. They lead at 29-0. And the wingback cuts inside, and he gets inside the 20-yard line to about the 19. Maybe they'll put him at the 20, so it's going to be third down and 5 for Centennial, and they want to huddle up here and get to the line of scrimmage. Or not even huddle up. Third down. Couple of plays called. And a belly option. Quarterback keeps it, and he's inside the 15. He's got a first down. Ball at the White Bear 14-yard line. 43 seconds to go in the first half, and Centennial takes another timeout. So we'll hold things up. 43 seconds to go in the first half, and the Cougars lead it by 29-0. Went back to last night. Eden Prairie over Wayzata by 35-14. Coon Rapids 36. Roseville 29. Fridley over Faribault by 32-14. Blaine by 14 points, 35-21 wins at Andover. Or St. Paul 34, Concordia Academy 26. And Centennial, the varsity version, over Anoka 31-21. Excuse me, to finish 7-1 on the regular season. Now here's our play at the White Bear 14-yard line. Fullback give is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. And Theo Lawson, excuse me. Go to on the stop for White Bear on that last play. The quarterback outside, though, to the 10. He's to the 5. Jersey tackle attempt doesn't work, and he's in for a touchdown. And that play, 14 yards. And Centennial does get into the end zone with 13 seconds to go in the first half, and now lead at 35-0. High snap. Kick is on the way, and it is good. So Centennial expands the lead. 13 seconds to go in the half. They lead at 36-0, and they will get the ball to start the second half. So been a rough first half for White Bear Lake. They've turned it over 4 times and have paid the price for it. Centennial has had short fields throughout, and they have performed very well. So White Bear will again get a chance to run a kickoff back. Here comes the kick. A pooch kick to the near side, and it's going to hit, and it's going to roll out of bounds. But it was last touched by the Bears at the 21-yard line, and that's where they'll get the football. Evan Rancour the closest to it as it went out of bounds, and now White Bear will take over with 13 seconds to go in the first half, and Stakowiak back in at quarterback. White Bear will show split backs and 2 receivers here on first down as it's a knee, and that will end the first half. And our score at recess is Centennial 36, White Bear Lake nothing. So we'll take a halftime break and come back with the second. Coming up next here on RICCI Media Group.
Sound will roll out. Quick hitter, and that is caught for the touchdown in the corner as Byron White with the touchdown. Animason with the low throw, but White able to pick it up out.
Defenders left in the wake, pass to the right, and that's Fields. That's onside. Fields starts down the right. Fields going right in. Fields takes the shot, and it's the first goal of the game. It is Linnea Fields, and White Bear has the lead.
cuts in, plays it up to Wolf, turns around. Or Oker fires a shot and scores. There it is, Elise Oker. Ideas of finishing it on our own serve here. Bump set, left side, free ball coming White Bear. Otto back to Pearl, and she gets the kill. 6-3 lead for White Bear. Santos digs that one out, set middle, tapped over. Meyer there to cover. Giske bump set left side, Farmer. Got it through. As that was just sheer willpower. As Meyer gets replaced by Caligari for White Bear. Otto serves. De Los Santos sets it left side for Alawonle. Dug out there by Giske. Tapped over on 2 by Link. That was clever. And Alawonle gets it back over on the White Bear leg side. Giske there to cover. Here's Farmer. Just took a swing at it. De Los Santos had to scramble to get after it, but that'll fall to the ground, and it's 9 set points. White Bear to win that one, 25-7. Back set right side, tapped over. Giske there in plenty of time. Back set for Caligari. Didn't get all of it, but you got to hit them where they ain't. And she did. Drive that ball a little bit more down into the hardwood. As that'll float it over, and White Bear electing to play it slow, and it doesn't work out for him. Free ball coming here for Park. As Alawonle takes a swing from just in front of the 10-foot line. Giske on the diving save. And Farmer with the left hand. The righty sticks out the left hand and gets the kill with it.
And again, a good ball on the right. Flag. In this case, the referee's arm stays down, and here's a chance for White Bear. Cutting into the middle, and a left-footed shot. That is in the net from Piper Curry, and White Bear goes up 2.
Sound will roll out. Quick hitter, and that is caught for the touchdown in the corner. As Byron White with the touchdown. Animasan with the low throw, but White able to pick it up off.
Defenders left in the wake, pass to the right, and that's Fields. That's onside. Fields starts down. All right, abbreviated halftime. 36-0 the score, as Centennial will get the ball to start the second half. Just having a discussion with my friend Tom RICCI in the press box here about high-scoring games. And we talked about the highest scoring game in the history of college football. The 222-0 game in 1916 between Georgia Tech and Cumberland. A lot of stories behind that game. Of course, back in those days, like in rugby, if a team was scored upon, it had to kick off. And so Georgia Tech had the ball for pretty much the whole game, but they scored 32 touchdowns in that game. They led 63 to nothing after the first quarter. They led 126 to nothing at halftime. Third and fourth quarters were shortened to 12 minutes, and Georgia Tech still scored 96 more points as the kickoff for the second half goes into the end zone. And so Centennial will start at the 20-yard line. The quarterback for Cumberland in that game was named Charles Edwards. He had 3 concussions in that game. And obviously, be a little different today. But the Cumberland team that day had 6 plays that gained yards, but they fumbled on 2 of them. So it was hard to get anything going, and was reported to have turned the ball over 15 times. Here's a run around left end and tiptoeing the sideline and finally out of bounds. Let's see where they're going to put him. They'll put him out of bounds at the 38-yard line, a gain of 18 yards. And the thing about it was the Bulldogs had actually disbanded their football program the prior season and had a legal obligation to play Georgia Tech. So they put together a team of fraternity brothers and people who had played football before, and they went down and played. It was a road game for them, and they played that day. They had 16 players, and there was a reason why the score was so high. A couple of reasons, which we'll go after this play. And the quarterback will gets around end to the 40, and he is going to be stacked up at the 43-yard line and pushed out of bounds. The prior year, those schools had played baseball, and the coach for Georgia Tech is a fellow by the name of John Heisman, who has a trophy named after him. He was also the baseball coach, and Cumberland had beaten Georgia Tech that year by 22 to nothing, and he wanted revenge. So when their non-existent football team came here, that was one reason why they were purportedly scored so many touchdowns, and the other was in the days of college football rankings, the Associated Press did not start ranking teams until 1936, but the issue was they would rank teams based by how many points they scored. And now here's a second down play, and they're going to throw over the middle, and it is caught at the 30-yard line, a first down for Centennial. 33-yard pickup right over the middle. So they figured, well, if we score a bunch of points, it might help us in our ratings, on our rankings. But from that day, Cumberland with minus 28 yards net offense, 9 lost fumbles, 6 interceptions. And Georgia Tech on extra points that day was 30 for 32 in one game. So it could always be worse, regardless of who you are, where you are, what the score is. It could always be worse. And here's a quarterback run. That play came back by penalty, by the way. I was having so much fun. Another quarterback gets through the middle, and he is back into White Bear territory at the 42-yard line, a first down. It was a downfield hole on the first play, but the end result is still a first down for Centennial as they move on. They lead at 36 to nothing here in the third quarter. They come to the line of scrimmage at the White Bear 42. Sweep, and then it's cut back through the middle and inside the White Bear Lake 40-yard line down to the 38, and it's Ben Berenson on the tackle for White Bear. And the gain on the play is 5 yards down to the White Bear 37-yard line. We have 9:45 to go in the third quarter. Centennial continues to move the ball here on their opening drive of the second half. And the Cougars come back to the line of scrimmage on 2nd down and 5. And the quarterback to throw, and he lobs to the near side, wide open inside the 15-yard line and tackled at the 10. A touchdown saving play made by Jackson Matt, the junior safety. And it's a first down inside the 10, so Centennial throwing the ball here, which they didn't do in the first half. And all started as part of a conversation at halftime about what was running up the score. And I don't think there's any doubt that Heisman ran up the score that day and kept running it up. First down and goal for Centennial at the White Bear Lake 9-yard line, 8:36 to go in the third quarter. And here's a cutback and into the end zone for a touchdown. And with 8:25 to go in the third quarter, Centennial increases its lead now to 42-0. And the kick is on the way, and it is good. So, timeout on the field. 8:25 to go in the third quarter. White Bear will get the ball for the first time in the second half, trailing 43-0. Still plenty of opportunity for Bears to work on things, get people into games, give them game snaps. No reason to hang your head. And here's the kick. High and short fielded at the 13-yard line. Working towards the middle is Stumke, and he is going to be brought down outside the 20-yard line at about the 23. So White Bear will take over on offense for the first time in the second half. 8 minutes, 19 seconds to go in the third quarter. Stakoviak will be the quarterback, and White Bear can now set a goal of trying to win each quarter and get down the field. And Stakoviak will come out. He'll leave the offense ball spotted at the 23-yard line, first down. Ryan Marietta, the running back for White Bear, now out of pistol. Stakoviak gives to him and out to the 25 for a pickup of a couple of yards. Or it could be Corbin Weber, 23. Second down, and Stakoviak will keep left tackle, and he is up to about the 26-yard line, maybe the 27. And that is a pickup of a couple yards. It'll be third down and 6 for White Bear. And again, double slots for White Bear on third down. Stakoviak to throw. Comes to the near side. Caught. at the 25-yard line, and again up to about the original line of scrimmage and not a whole lot farther is McQuay, and he is knocked out of bounds. 4th down coming for White Bear Lake, and the punt team comes on. 7:08 to go in the third quarter. White Bear forced to punt after 3 plays on its first possession. This time, though, the wind is at their back, so might be a little longer effort here. And here's the kick. Hits at the 45 and takes a big White Bear roll. Look at that. It is going to roll dead at the 26-yard line. 49-yard punt, as it turned out. Most of it rolled, but that all counts, and it's a first down for Centennial, leading it by 43 with 7 minutes to play in the third. Centennial will come to the line of scrimmage. First down. Pitch to the far side, and flags down. And a false start is indicated against Centennial. Stepping back 5 yards. So that's going to put the ball at the 21-yard line. First down and 15. Under 7 minutes now to play in the third quarter. Quarterback will keep and struggle forward to about the 23 before he is brought down by Golda for White Bear Lake. Second down. And about 13. Under 7 minutes now to go in the third quarter. Clock moving as why worry about Thursday night football when you can have Thursday morning football? You got football and the added advantage of being home for lunch. Second down. First man through. Fullback, oh my goodness, up the middle, and this could be a touchdown. 40, 30, 20, 10, and a fullback plunge goes up the middle for a touchdown of 72 yards. And that's where I wish I had a roster. That's his third touchdown of the day, but this one over 70 yards. And it's now 49-0. And an extra point attempt coming for 50 for Centennial. And that kick is tipped at the line of scrimmage and is no good. But the 6 points makes the score 49-0 with 5:57 to go in the third quarter. On a day where very little has gone right for White Bear. They are now trying to just take it one play at a time. You're not going to win the game, obviously, but you can still do small things well, and you still work on those things. 5:57 left, third quarter. And here's the kick. High and short. Fielded at the 24-yard line on the near side by St. Martin, and he winds up getting out past the 30. And they're going to put him at the 34-yard line, first down. And Stakoviak will come out to play quarterback. And nothing there. Maybe the line of scrimmage. 34-yard line for Stumke, and it'll bring up second down. As we are under 6 minutes now to play in the third quarter. Centennial scored their first touchdown less than a minute into the game. They have scored 7 of them so far, and ranging in distance from 1 to 72 yards. Second down. Stakoviak to throw. Right side. Caught over the middle at the 42-yard line. Still shy of the first down, but pickup of about 7 yards. As McQuay makes the catch over the middle. He gets to the 43, so it's going to be third down and a yard for White Bear. Third down play. 3 receivers, and that play is stuffed in the backfield as Stumke tried to cut right and had no place to go. It's a loss back to the 40. It'll bring up fourth down and 4 with 4:17 to go, and White Bear will again punt the ball away. High snap, gets over his head. And back to the 15-yard line, and Centennial is going to take over at about the 12. Snap goes over the punter's head, and Centennial takes over again with a short field and 3:40 to go in the third quarter. And a Centennial team that really hasn't needed much help today gets another short field at the White Bear Lake 12-yard line. And a new fullback in the game gets up the middle inside the 10 to about the 7. So it'll be second down and 5. They can get a first down without scoring. Under 3.5 minutes to go. And Centennial back to the line of scrimmage. Less than 3 minutes now to go in the third. Wingback cuts inside, gets to the 5, keeps driving. Has probably got a first down at the 1-yard line. Oh, penalty, and it's going to come back. So never mind that. Looks as though a hold on the edge here might be called. And the ball is put back to the 17-yard line where it will be second down and 15 for the Cougars. 2:44 remaining. In our third quarter. Fullback up the middle of the 10 to the 5. They didn't pick him up. It's a touchdown. And Centennial fullbacks have scored 4 touchdowns today. And it is now 56 to nothing. Excuse me, 55 to nothing. They missed the extra point on the last attempt. And will now try again after their latest touchdown to make it 56. And the kick on the way, and it is good. Centennial continues to pull away. And the Bears get the ball back again with just over 2 minutes left in the third quarter. And Anderson is going to go back in. Going to go back deep for White Bear on the far side where Stunke's been playing. Caesar's still on the near side. And it'll be Centennial to kick off. Caesar at the 8-yard line. Trying to get to the outside and is upended prior to the 20-yard line. So a 10-yard return, and with 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the third quarter, White Bear will take over again at their 18-yard line. And it will be Stachowiak to quarterback. And again, 2 receivers to either side. Quarterback keeps, gets outside the 20-yard line to about the 26 before he is brought down. That's going to be an 8-yard pickup. Good first down yardage. Stachowiak lost his helmet, so he has to come off the field for a play, and that will bring Burke and Larson back into the game at quarterback. Less than 2 minutes now to go. Second down, same look. And here's a give off left tackle and first down yardage for Will Johnson. And White Bear moves the chains. Minute 24 to go in the third quarter. And Stachowiak back in now after his one play out. And comes to the line with receivers split to both sides. Gives and a little stretch play off right tackle and some nice yardage. First down and more for Will Johnson out past the 40. Out to the 41-yard line. And that is a gain of 12 and a first down for White Bear Lake. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Bears try to put a drive together here late in this contest. And White Bear doesn't have to run a play in the third quarter and will not do so. So we will change ends and go to the fourth with the score 56-0 for Centennial. And we remind you, as always, this game is brought to you by Apple Autos and your hometown, Apple Ford White Bear Lake, where one in every 3 Fords on Minnesota Road starts its journey. Thanks for supporting local, and go Bears. So they will change ends and start the fourth quarter with Centennial just trying to play out the last 12 minutes. White Bear will have a first down on its 41-yard line when they come back into play. And again, 2 receivers to either side for Stakowiak, who will bring his team up. And he rolls to the right, looking to throw. And it is caught but out of bounds, I think. Are they going to give that catch? Yes, they are. Nice play by Caesar and a catch to the Centennial 44-yard line. So 3 first downs on this drive for White Bear, and they have the ball in plus territory at the Centennial 44-yard line. And we're in running time. And we're going to have a penalty added on afterwards here. 15 yards, so the ball is now at the 29-yard line. And it might have been roughing after the fact. And now White Bear with a first down inside the 30. Stakowiak looks to throw. And he goes to the near side and looking for Caesar, and it's through his hands in the end zone. Incomplete. And a second down coming, so the Bears taking their shot. Second down at the 29. And time marches on. Stakowiak brings him up here on second down and gives off left tackle, and out to about the 26-yard line is Johnson. So he picks up a couple. Maybe they won't give him quite that much. Third down rather, and 8 yards to go. Clock moving as we're down to 10 minutes. Again, 3 receivers to the right and 1 left. Third down from the Centennial 26. Stakowiak to throw, and he goes over the middle and into traffic, and that ball is incomplete. Pass intended for McQuay, and it brings up fourth down. The fourth down and 8. Stakowiak will send 2 left and 2 right again. And they show blitz, which gets picked up, and here's a pass over the middle. It's caught inside the 5-yard line. Anthony Brown, and it's a first down for White Bear Lake. First and goal with under 9 minutes to go. So the Bears will have first down and goal to go. Ball is at the Centennial 3-yard line. The running back is Will Johnson. Up the middle. Right to the goal line. And he's marked short. So second down inside the 1. Bears pushing hard here. 7:57 to go in the fourth quarter. And Stakowiak gives, and they're not going to get in again, as right at the line of scrimmage, Johnson is stacked up. Third down. And now it'll be Stumke coming in at running back for the Bears. And out of pistol on third down and goal. Stakowiak will try it himself. He cuts towards the goal line, leans, and does not get there. Stopped inside the 1, fourth down. And Stakowiak a little tender there as he tries to walk something off, or he's favoring his left leg a little bit. Now the fourth down play. 2 receivers to the left. Ball inside the 1-yard line. Stakowiak gives. Stumke. Touchdown. And White Bear is on the board with 6 minutes and 18 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. As the Bears get in on fourth down. And now we'll attempt the extra point. Looks like Berenson will have that honor. Snap set. Kick is on the way, and it is no good. We have a penalty, or it's good rather, as they ran into the kicker. And it is a personal foul, so that will come on the kickoff. The kick is good, and the score now 56-7 as the Bears get on the board. 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go, and they're going to get the kick off. With 5:21 to go, and they do stop the clock after scores, so step off 15 yards on the kickoff, so White Bear would be kicking off from the Centennial side of the field at the 45-yard line. Good spot for an onside kick if they decide they want to work on it. White Bear will kick off from the Centennial 45-yard line. Or you might not overthink it and just kick off. And they just kick it off. Lands at the 13-yard line. And up the middle, Centennial will run the ball back to nearly midfield with 5:10 to go and the clock moving. And the game safely tucked away for them. First down at the 49-yard line. And they throw to the near side, and it is caught out of the backfield to the White Bear 40-yard line, down the sideline out to about the 35 before getting shoved out of bounds. And that's Zach Pasqua on the stop for White Bear Lake. And a first down to the 33-yard line. Clock moving with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play. Running time here in the fourth quarter as Centennial will run as much time off the clock as they can before snapping the football. First down to the Bears' 33-yard line. And a gain inside the 30 down to the 28, which is going to be about 5 yards short of the line to gain still. Second down. As we're down to just over 3 minutes now. Running time in place, clock moving. Second down snap, they're going to throw. Screen to the near side, caught at the 25 and stopped there short of the line to gain. Jackson Matt, 47 on the stop. 2.5 minutes to go, and it's third down and about a yard for Centennial at the Bears 24. I apologize today, we don't have rosters for both teams, so we're doing the best we can, but Bears put together a good drive in the fourth quarter, get in the end zone, and have something to take out of this game. Third down on a yard. Screen or a little look-in pass complete at the 21-yard line. Dan Wickham on the coverage, and it'll be a first down for Centennial with 1:50 to go, and to be where you would think you would just kneel it out. .135 to go, and Centennial 56-7 have led the game since the opening minute. And they're going to throw to the near side, and a good play at the 25-yard line, form tackle by Matt. And with 1:10 to go, it'll be second down. Back to the 24. So that's a loss on the play of about 3 yards. And we're under a minute to go. The clock moving. One more play. And now they will kneel it out. And there it is. This game is over, and our final score here from White Bear Stadium today is Centennial 56 and White Bear Lake 7 as we bring you the junior varsity game here on RICCI Media Group. We will remind you one final time, we're brought to you today by Apple Autos and your hometown Apple Ford, White Bear Lake, where 1 in every 3 Fords on Minnesota Road starts its journey. Thanks for supporting local, and go Bears. And that is it here from White Bear Stadium this morning. 56-7, Centennial wins. Jeff Pappas saying so long, and we'll see you next time here on RICCI Media Group's coverage of White Bear Lake sports.